Anissa has finally been introduced in Invincible Season 2, and here is why she is so much stronger than Mark in the TV show. The titular superhero is one of the strongest people on Earth in the Invincible universe, with Mark Grayson able to take down nearly any Earth-based threat without breaking a sweat. The fight with Anissa, however, caused Mark to experience a whole new world of pain, with her being significantly stronger than him. Although it isn't explicitly laid out, Anissa is able to beat Mark in Invincible Season 2, Episode 7 for these reasons. Invincible Season 2, Part 2 is finally here, with the highly anticipated continuation of Amazon Prime Video's critically acclaimed animated adaptation of the hit comic book series now releasing. Invincible Season 2, Part 2 picks up right where Invincible Season 2, Part 1 ended, with Mark Grayson returning home from the planet Thraxa in order to help the Guardians of the Globe fight off a Sequid invasion. As it turns out, the Sequids aren't the only intergalactic threat to Earth in Season 2, as the arrival of Anissa pushes Mark Grayson to the limits of what he is capable of. Anissa has had more training with her powers compared to Invincible. Invincible Season 2, Episode 7 makes it a major point to highlight that Anissa is much stronger than Mark Grayson, with Cecil even telling Mark that he won't be able to beat her. This is mostly due to Anissa having had more training with her powers compared to Invincible, with this allowing her to get the upper hand against Mark in the fight. As a member of the Viltrum Empire, Anissa has spent most of her life striving to be the best warrior that she can be, with these preparations really paying off for her during her fight with Mark. Although Anissa has been training with her powers for her whole life, Mark has only started working with his powers in the past few years. Mark is half Viltrumite, meaning that his powers didn't appear until he was a teenager. This means that Mark missed out on years of valuable training time that Anissa was able to benefit from. Mark hadn't really been training his powers until his dad trained him while on Thraxa, as he hasn't had to face villains that could hurt him. Invincible Season 2's Anissa introduction showed the flaw in this logic, with her absolutely destroying Invincible. Invincible's human side doesn't automatically make him weaker. Although Invincible isn't a full-blooded Viltrumite, his human side doesn't automatically make him weaker. Instead, he should actually be able to be just as strong as any Viltrumite. Due to Omni-Man traveling to Earth before fathering Mark, Mark is half human and half Viltrumite, with this unique blend of DNA being what causes Mark to have his powers. Mark has many of the benefits of his father's Viltrumite DNA, but he also has traces of human DNA. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though, as later Invincible episodes will explain. According to the lore of Invincible, Viltrumite DNA is more compatible with some species than others, but humans are particularly good for Viltrumite crossbreeding. The Viltrumite DNA slowly takes over the human DNA, with half Viltrumites essentially being the same as full-blooded Viltrumites after enough time. Thus, Mark's human side doesn't have much of an effect on him now that he has developed his powers, with training being the one thing keeping him from being as strong as Anissa. Mark could be as strong as Anissa in Invincible's future. Although he isn't there yet, it is entirely possible that Mark could be as strong as Anissa in Invincible's future. Mark is already one of Invincible's most powerful characters, but now that stronger characters like Alan the Alien and the Viltrumites are being introduced, Mark will have to push himself to the limit to keep on fighting. Omni-Man's training of Mark while on Thraxa showed that Mark is barely scratching the surface of what he is capable of, something that will change in future episodes. Mark gets increasingly stronger as the story of Invincible goes on, with him getting closer and closer to the strength of his father as he grows. Because of this, it is possible that Mark could be prepared to take on Anissa the next time she arrives on Earth, especially if he is aware of the Viltrumite weaknesses from Omni-Man's books. Mark still is far from his full strength, with the hero's potential to grow being one of the most exciting parts of Invincible.